What is up, guys, and welcome to an episode of Driver's Garage where we're going to do an update of the Clio 197 track car. If you haven't seen any of my previous episodes, I suggest you do, because we do quite a lot of work to this car in regard to servicing, getting the brakes all set up. We then strip a load of weight out of the car and get the ergonomics a little bit better. But picking up where we left off with that, I mentioned in the last episode that I would like the seats to be lower, and I mentioned that you can get these fixed rails. So what I've done is I've sold the sliders and bases. That whole setup's now gone, and I've gone with these SW Motorsport fixed rails, which get the seat a little bit lower at a nicer angle, and it reduces the weight as well. It's about 4 or 5 kilos a base, I believe I saved. So from the previous weight, which I believe was about 1180, we've knocked off another 10 kilos. Sticking with the interior, the next thing I did was install this steering wheel. Done away with the OEM steering wheel and fit a Sabelt SW733 flat bottom steering wheel. The exact same one I had in a Mazda MX-5 from a few videos ago. I fitted that with a steering spacer, a Volantec hub adapter, and a button adapter, which includes the horn and the cruise control stuff. This is a cup, so it doesn't come with cruise control, but I fitted a cruise control squib and coded in cruise control, so now it all works fantastic and it doesn't increase the weight. This setup, including the spacer and the boss, comes in actually at about half a kilo, 400 grams lighter, so we're not gaining any weight and we're gaining some performance because we've got a nicer steering position, a smaller steering wheel, grippier steering wheel, and to go with all that, I fitted some steering column spacers, which spaces the steering column down. They are from Wheeler Motorsport, and they space it down, yay much, which wasn't enough for me. So I took the spacers off, put some washers on, put the spacers back on, bolt it all back up, and it brings it down to a much nicer angle. I'm sat in a nice, comfortable position. I can see down the dashboard. So yeah, that's fantastic. I'm very, very happy with the ergonomics of the car now. While we're in the interior, I also fitted these carbon dash trims. They're from Carbon Skins, and they're genuine carbon. They are just skinned, so if anything, they add a little bit of weight, but it's minuscule, with a little red line. And I don't know if you can see, but there is a Renault Sport logo under the lacquer over here as well. So that just tidies it all up nicely, makes it look a bit more sporty, and does away with the horrible red ones that were in here from the previous owner. And lastly, for the interior, I installed a head unit. Did away with the old cheap Bluetooth one and installed a even cheaper China CarPlay one, so I can do things like maps and put my music on there as well. Ignore my choice of music, love a bit of country. But when I bought this car, it did come with a spoiler. It was a replica one. I don't know if it was from K-Tech or China or whatever. I bought an OEM spoiler, had it painted the factory glacier white colour, installed that, and must admit, it does look a lot better than that crappy, worn out black thing that was on before, doesn't it? Being OEM, it comes with the Renault Sport embossing in the bottom as well. Sticking with the exterior, the next thing I did was sort out this front end. These come with a massive underbite with the OEM lip, the factory lip. So I got a optional extra Renault Sport cup lip, installed that on there, much the same as I did on my last car, and you've got to admit, it does complete the front end on these cars. Complementing the black and white theme, I got some black housing headlights, or projector headlights, installed them on there, which give you this lovely black outline and this aggressive projector. They do look so much better, and they do make the front end look so much more aggressive. Unfortunately, the light output's pretty terrible. On full beam, fine. The main beam, the dip beam, whatever you call it, it's just pointless, really. So I might have to look for another option, but it does look good, doesn't it? The next exterior and performance mod on the car is the wheels. These are a set of Rotor SS10 wheels. They're a 17 by 7.5, so same as OEM, but they are a 50mm offset instead of a 68mm offset, so they come out much like the OEM wheels with spacers on. And as a bonus, they're lighter. I can't remember the exact figures, but they're this much lighter. I'll put it on the screen. These are my road or wet setup because I've got these on Michelin Pilot Sports. They're fantastic on the road, and they'll do the odd wet track day too. So yeah, very happy with them. They look good. Not the best colour. The black and white does look good, but I must admit the bit of colour on there, be nice, bit of silver. Silver wheel on a white car does look good. I do have another set of wheels. They are Two Forge ZF8s. They're a 17 by 8, so they're a little bit wider, and they're also a 50mm offset, which means they stick out a little bit further, being a 8J wheel, and that's what I put my track tyres on. They've currently got a set of AO52s on. Fantastic tyre, by the way. Unfortunately, they are in the garage, so you can't see them on the car, but I'll chuck some pictures on screen of the car with them on. So yeah, wheels, very happy. They've come out fantastic, and luckily these come up for sale at a very good price locally, so jumped on them. Looks awesome. Next up, you can see from these pictures compared to the last video, it's sat quite a bit lower. So I bought on a whim a set of Gas Gold coilovers. They're a fantastic setup. I ran them on the last car and I've lowered it down this low, however low this is. Looks fantastic, handles awesome. It did catch a lot. Recently went to Belgium, did Spa, fine there. Then went to the Nürburgring in Germany and it caught a lot, to be fair. So it's battered the arches a little bit and it's scrubbed the tyres a little bit, but looks good though, doesn't it? The good thing about the Gas Gold is you can get in some camber adjustment. I did a track day before installing these, which I included in my last video, and it was scrubbing the outside of the tyres. So I've dialed in the camber. This is currently running 3.3 degrees of front camber with 0 toe, and that's fantastic. The AO52s, it's right on the money. After the track days, the tyre wears pretty even across there, so a little bit more camber probably would be nice and probably would handle better, but for my driving ability, it's about right. And I don't know if it's going to show on the video, but I also bought some rear camber and toe shims. I went and got it aligned, found out what the alignment was, then bought the shims to rectify it. Now, I didn't realise that because of the angle of the axle, 1 degree camber shim doesn't give you a degree of camber, and 30 minutes of toe shim doesn't give you 30 minutes of toe. So there was a bit of messing backward and forward, and I didn't quite buy the shims I needed, but managed to get the toe pretty much even on both sides, nice and square, and the camber at 1.75 degrees. It does need more rear camber, and I am going to buy more shims and get that all sorted as well. And that's where we're up to with the car. It's a fantastic package all round. It drives fantastic. It's not the fastest thing in a straight line. It never will be. It's 190 horsepower when it went new. This has got an intake, a manifold, an exhaust, and a map. So it makes maybe standard power, 197. But it drives fantastic. It's so much fun. And we recently did a Euro trip where we drove over to Belgium. We did a track day at Spa. Unfortunately, I didn't get any footage myself at Spa. I do have a little video that a friend took, so thank you, Josh. I'll chuck it in now. And it was fantastic. The car lapped all day. Again, not the fastest thing. Managed to do Eau Rouge flat. It's terrifying, but it did it. And I think I finished up with a final lap time of about a 3:06. That's with my driving abilities. So much fun. I would do Spa again. Fantastic track. I'd even put it on par with the Nürburgring. From Spa, we drove up to Germany, had a couple of days around the Nürburgring area, watched a few tourist laps, and just had a chill. We even did a couple of tourist laps, which I know I said we wouldn't do, but 2 laps won't hurt, will it? Although I did nearly get took out by Misha. Then we did a track day at the Nürburgring. It started out very foggy and it was a very slow start. We had to wait for the fog to clear because it was early November. It's cold up there, you're in the mountains. But the car performed faultlessly. It lapped all day. I did 20 plus laps, no problems at all. And at the end of the day, I put some fuel in it, chucked all my tools back in the back, and it drove home. So as it stands, this car is awesome. Love it. So what's next for the car? Well, realistically, nothing. I would like a little bit more rear camber, so I might order the shims to get the rear camber dialed in a bit more. I think I want to get it up to about 2.5 degrees, something like that. And I do have a Cup Racer front anti-roll bar, which is a 22mm one. This car currently has a 20mm one, so it's a decent upgrade. I might try and get that in there. And with that, while the subframe's off, I'd like to do the subframe bushers. Swap the OEM rubber ones for the Cup Racer spec billet ones that you weld in. With that, it raises the subframe up, which rectifies a bit of roll centre as well. So I'd like to get that front sorted, get that rear camber sorted, and just go from there. I'd like a rear cage and harnesses that would hold me in a bit better and offer a bit more security in regard to rollover or a big crash, but we'll see how we go with that one. And I'd like a better shifter, but I can't justify spending £1,000 on a ZPO or something like that at the minute, so I'm going to stick with the OEM. The car works as it is, it's so much fun, and I really don't want to overbuild this car. Might take a little bit more weight out of it. I can take things like the headliner and the carpets out, but we'll see how we go. The car's good. I'm happy with the car, and yeah. If you know any mods that are really, really worthwhile, drop it in the comments. I'll have a look at them. But as it sits, I'm happy with the car, and this is how it's staying pretty much until next track season. With that, I'll wrap it up. I'm probably boring you to death by now. Good car, very happy. Sorry I didn't record all this while I installed stuff. I had a bit of a fallout with YouTube. I hope this has been useful or entertaining for you, and I will catch you on the next one.